Ugh, that hurts, man. Every time I want to trust this team, they stab me in the back. That's all they do at this point. Like, what's building off momentum at this point? Like, what is it? What is momentum? What is building off of a nice series win? Nice 3 out of 4 series win against the Miami Marlins, a division rival battling for a wild card spot. You come into a series against a very terrible not Oakland Athletics team. Honestly, they're comparable to the Oakland Athletics, the Kansas City Royals. Like, they're on par with them record-wise. They're like a few wins better than them. But they're still bad. They're still terrible. I don't care that they have a 6-game winning streak coming into this game. Well, now 7 after they beat you tonight. 7-5 Phillies lose to the Kansas City Royals. And what else could have gone wrong tonight? You know, you get on the board early. Nick Castellanos, first inning, 2-run bomb. You think, okay. Aaron Nola, you're up against a bad team. Go and shut it down. He does the exact opposite. The exact opposite. Aaron Nola looked horrible. He had maybe one clean inning out of the entire game. One clean inning. And I think that was the top of the first. Every single other inning, he allowed a base runner or allowed a run, allowed a home run. Can't get away from that. Can't get away from Aaron Nola allowing home runs. It's just his thing this year. I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't make sense. Aaron Nola, it's guaranteed that he's going to allow a home run. Seriously, I bet you would win a lot of money, and somehow, if you bet Aaron Nola not giving up a home run in the game, you would probably win a lot of money. You would probably be crazy to bet that. Because it's basically every game Aaron Nola gives up at least 1 or 2 home runs. That's basically it. Like, seriously. It's getting ridiculous. It is getting ridiculous. It's getting to the point where, even though I said this in the last game that Nola pitched with the Pittsburgh Pirates series after I recapped that, it's impossible to trust Aaron Nola anymore. It's impossible. Go up against an easy opponent. Go get a win. Go build some confidence. No, he looks like a baby out there. He looks scared. He looks like he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. It doesn't... Seriously. When was his last, quality start? When was Aaron Nola's last good start? Because I don't remember him having a good start in a while. If I look at his last few games. Against the Pittsburgh Pirates, 5 earned runs. Granted, yes, the defense wasn't good that day. But still, he allowed 5 earned runs to the Pirates, 3 walks, 4 2/3 innings. Yeah, then he had back-to-back games where he had 7 innings, at least, against the Brewers and the Guardians. 3 runs, though, against the Guardians, 2 earned runs against the Brewers. 6 innings against the Marlins, 4 earned runs. 3 home runs allowed. He was good against Tampa Bay. But look at this for Aaron Nola in the past couple of months. He's been a consistent... His best month of the year was May. No, actually, it was April. His best month of the year was April. That was his only month this year with an ERA below 4. Only month this year. His April ERA was a 3.58. June was a 4.39. No, actually, yeah. No, May was a 4.39. June was a 4.06. And July was a 4.18. And this was his first start of August, and it did not go well. And this offense, too. I'm not putting the offense off the hook. Yeah, you scored 5 runs. And yes, in hindsight, in the grand scheme of things, 5 runs should be enough to beat the Kansas City Royals. It should be plenty enough. Plenty. The Phillies gave Aaron Nola a 2-0 lead. The Phillies gave Aaron Nola a 4-2 lead. And he coughed up both of those, and he allowed the Royals to take the lead. And it all went away from there. So yes, there's definitely an argument for that. The offense put up 4 runs against the Kansas City Royals. That should be plenty enough with how bad this team is for Aaron Nola to take care of business and the bullpen to do its job. Apparently it wasn't, because this is the 2023 Philadelphia Phillies, and they do not make sense. And they play down the competition. They don't beat the bad teams this year. Recently, at least. Because if we're going to through this second half, look at the bad teams that they have played. Honestly, if you look at the schedule, so far for this Phillies team and look at the teams they have played so far in the second half, they lost the series to the Cleveland Guardians. That's not a good team. They lost the series to the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's not a good team. So far, and also even before the second half even started, going back to the first couple of series before the All-Star break, the Phillies lost a series to the Washington Nationals. So recently, they have not been beating bad teams. They have not been taking care of bad teams. Something that they did with ease last year. One of the reasons why they got into the playoffs last year, besides, the Brewers sucking at the end of the way, the reason why they were winning so many games last year is because they took care of business against bad teams like the Nationals, like the Marlins last year, and other teams that were not good. They took care of those teams. Yes, there were some teams that definitely had their number that they should have beaten, but they didn't. But they still took care of business more times than not against the bad teams last year. This year, they're not so far. They're not. It looks like they're playing more down the competition, which is not good. Which is not good at all. Yeah, you're beating good teams. You beat the Orioles. You won a 3 or 4 game series against the Marlins, the team that you're fighting for. But you also did lose a series to the Brewers. So they're a team that you're fighting for, with the wild card and everything like that. It's at the point where, when was the last time the Phillies blew anyone out? When was the last time the Phillies had a comfortable win? A comfortable lead? It's always like a 2-run lead, a 3-run lead, a 1-run lead. When was the last time they blew someone out? Or they won by 2, 3, 4 runs? It's been a while. It's been a long time. Seriously. It's been a very long time since they actually blew someone out of the wall. The last time they had a win of more than 3 runs, was July 15th against the Padres when they won 9-4. And then looking at the past couple of games, the last, just look at the second half. I'm trying to look at the wins that they've had of 3 runs or more. So July 15th against the Padres, they won by 5. July 23rd against the Guardians, they won by 3, but granted that was an extra innings. And that's it. Every other win, 2 runs, 1 run, 1 run, 1 run, 2 runs, 1 run, 2 runs, 1 run, 2 runs. They've only had 2 wins in this second half of 3 or more runs. They're not scoring more. That shows you how little this offense has been doing this entire second half. Now, are they overdue to explode? Yes. They are overdue to explode. But when they have been scoring, quote unquote, the pitching hasn't been able to keep up the second half. But it's just, they're not winning many games by 3 or more runs lately. Every game is like a battle. Every game is not comfortable. Every game is not easy lately. And yeah, every game is not going to be easy. But you need to mix in some of those games where you're just blowing out the other team. Not even blowing them out by 6 runs or winning by 4 runs, winning by 5 runs, a nice comfortable win. When you don't have to stress the entire time, when you don't have to use 50 bullpen arms. That's the issue. That is the issue. And Nola with the home runs today. Again, a hanging pitch to Bobby Witt Jr. Just don't even pitch to the guy. This Royals team is not good. They're not good. Throws a hanging. It's literally a AA team in Bobby Witt Jr. Yes, Bobby Witt Jr. is a great player. He's a fantastic young player. Okay. If he beats you, don't let the other team beat you. Don't let the rest of these no-names beat you. That's basically it. That's all I'm asking. Yeah, Bobby Witt can beat you. Don't let these no-name that people I haven't even heard of. The Kansas City Royals have 36 wins on the year. And you're struggling. Look at their lineup. Look at their lineup today. Look at their lineup. 1 for 5, 2 for 5, 1 for 5, 1 for 4, 2 for 4, 1 for 3, 2 for 4, 1 for 3. Every single person in their lineup besides the 9-hole hitter had a hit today. Had a hit. The Royals in total had 11 hits. You had 9. And let's look at the Phillies lineup. Kyle Schwarber has looked awful in the past couple of weeks. When was his last home run? The first game against the Pirates last weekend. So he's going on a week now without a home run. Yeah, even though I say that I'd rather have Kyle Schwarber leading off because the numbers do say that this team is better off with Kyle Schwarber leading off because the record-wise they're good and all that stuff. Right now it's not working. Right now it's not working. When he's not going, it feels like the rest of the team falls through. Because once again, it's your top 5 paid guys, even though I'm not blaming Nick Castellanos today because he did his job. But still, when push comes to shove, your young guys are still picking up the entire slack. Bohm, Stott, Marsh. Bohm had 2 hits. Stott had 2 hits. Marsh had 2 hits. Rojas had 2 RBI. That's not sustainable. That's not sustainable. When Bohm, Stott, Marsh, and Rojas when you're relying on Rojas to drive in 2 runs. You can't win like that constantly. It's not going to work. You need Schwarber to hit bombs. You need Harper to keep doing stuff. You need Trey Turner. And yes, I'm going to talk about the Trey Turner stuff with the fans and the standing ovation. I'll have a word on that. I definitely do have an opinion on that. It's not a bad opinion, no. Because I do stand by the people giving with standing ovation. I don't mind it at all. I need JT to do more. Yeah, he barely missed a home run today. It just went foul, but still didn't do much. Your top 5 guys, they need to do more. And the trade deadline, Dave Dombrowski put words to these guys. I'm trusting these guys. I am trusting these guys. I believe in these guys because they've done it before. And right now they're making his words look bad at this point, even though it's been a few days since the trade deadline. Like, seriously. Guys, it's about time you wake up. Or is it just who they are this year? Is it just who they are this year? They rely solely on their pitching and their young guys to do the job. And eventually, maybe here, there, and there, the top guys step up. Here or there. And once again, you got a break because the teams that you're fighting for with the wild card spots, a lot of them lost today. Again, you got another break. Again. So once again, you're not taking advantage of teams around you losing again. Because right now the Brewers are losing. The Diamondbacks are losing. I believe the Marlins lost. The Reds lost. Yes, every team that you're battling for with the wild card spot lost. So you didn't lose ground, you didn't gain ground. So I guess you got a break. But don't you want to start taking advantage when the other teams aren't winning? Because seriously, like when the Marlins were going on their long losing streak to start the second half, you were barely taking advantage of that. When the Marlins kept losing games and kept losing games, you kept losing games and kept losing games. Like that was during the stretch of the Brewers in the Guardians series. Because during that stretch, the Marlins were losing a lot of games. And you were not taking advantage. And the Giants were losing games. And the teams around you that were losing games. I want to take advantage of that. And you're not. And you're not. And you're not. Yeah, you're getting a break because you're losing at the same time these guys are. But when you win, these guys win. So it's just... It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. This team has way too much talent. Yes, I'm going to keep saying that this team has way too much talent, but it's just who they are this year. They're not clutch. They don't hit with runners on. The top guys don't perform, and they rely way too much on the young talent. It's probably at this point because it's been like this the entire year. It's been like this for 4 months now, since April. Since April, it's been like this. It's been like this the entire time. Bohm doing everything, Stott doing everything, Marsh doing everything, and now Rojas has been having to do everything. Like, seriously, I hate feeling like this. I hate feeling that with this because now the next 2 wins are mandatory. I said going into the series you should sweep this team, but apparently I was wrong. Apparently I was wrong. Now you got to win the series. You can't lose the series to the Royals. You cannot lose a series to the Royals. You cannot lose a series to the Royals. You cannot lose a series to the goddamn Royals. Cannot. You cannot lose a series to the goddamn Kansas City Royals. Christopher Sanchez is on the mound tomorrow. You couldn't hit Jordan Lyles. You struggled against Jordan Lyles for the most part. Yeah, you scored 5 runs off of him. He has near a 6.5 ERA. Coming into this game, he had a near 6.5 ERA. It's down to 6.24. You should have scored at least 7-8 runs on this guy. Easily. And then you didn't even touch their bullpen. Their bullpen gave up 1 single hit and walked 2 guys and hit a batter. So you did nothing against their bullpen. Absolutely nothing. That's a joke. And look at some of these guys' numbers in the bullpen. Coleman, a nice above 10 ERA. A nice above 10 ERA. Hernandez, a 3.6. Wilgren, 5.54. And Cox, 3.58. I don't see one dominant guy in that bullpen that they used. I do not see one at all. And Junior Marte sucked. Hoffman allowed a run. And of course, Kobe had a clean inning. It's a joke. And if I look at the standings right now, like I said, you didn't gain or lose ground. You're still a game up on the Marlins. You're a game and a half up on the Marlins. You're a game up on the Reds. You're 2 games above the Diamondbacks. You are 3 games above the Cubs. And the Padres, they're finding ways to win now. They're almost right around the 500. They're 54 or in the 55. They're 3.5 back at the 3rd wild card spot. You are 4.5 ahead of them. And you're 2 games behind the Giants, which look like they're going on a winning streak again because they've won 3 straight games. And looking at the Giants right now, I'm assuming they won today because I don't see them playing currently. Who are the Giants playing? Unless they had... No, they had to have played today. Not crazy, am I? Definitely not crazy. The Giants have to be playing today, right? Giants have to be playing, right? Today's Friday. They have off on a Friday? Why do they have off on a Friday? That's weird. That is weird. Why do they have off on a Friday? I'm sorry, I'm sidetracked. Why do the Giants have off on a Friday? What baseball team has off on Friday? In what world? What world do these guys? Does a baseball team, a legitimate baseball team, have what kind of scheduling is that, MLB? What kind of scheduling is that? And it's funny how we looked at this stretch so far. We looked at this stretch so far for the Phillies, and we considered it a very easy stretch. And the Phillies had one of the easiest schedules in the second half. So let's go over the stretch at the current. So they won 3 out of 4 against the Padres, who at the time were not good. So they took 3 out of 4 from the Padres, which is good. Brewers, yeah, they're a solid team. They have really good pitching. They lost that series. Okay, that's understandable. But then you lose a series. Then look at this next stretch here. You lose a series to the Guardians. You lost 2 of 3. Then you win a series against Baltimore. Then you lose a series to the Pirates. Win a series against, so it's win series, lose. It's lose series, win series, lose series, win series, lose series, win series at this point. It's the way this team is going. At this point. I just don't know.
She said she cried in my...
I'm just looking at stuff right here. So I guess I felt that sneeze coming. Excuse me there, guys. I had to sneeze there. So, I guess, let me get to the Trey Turner situation because I haven't brought it up yet. So, all through social media, basically from, that terrible ending to, what was it, Wednesday night's Marlins game, Trey Turner booping that single, Marlins tied the game up, then they eventually win it in the next inning or something like that, I believe, or was that very same inning? I don't remember. But, going throughout social media, we were all pissed in the moment, but then basically as the hours went along, going through the next day, on that Thursday when Michael Lorenzen on the mound, and basically and this is like, social media and everything, maybe they're always talking about, you know, instead of, booing Trey Turner when in his first at bat back, in the homestand at Citizens Bank Park, why not? We give him a standing ovation. We're showing that we support him. We're showing that we believe in him. We know he's going through a really rough patch right now. He's really lost in his head. He's lost in his emotions. He's, just not feeling good at all overall. And why not? Let's show it's our support and let's show we can believe in him. And maybe that can do something. And yes, I firmly, believe in the fans doing that. I probably would have done that too, because we're going through the stages right now. We were pissed off at Trey Turner for how bad he is playing. And then basically, at this point, it's just you're getting to the stage where you feel bad for the guy, where you feel absolutely bad for him, because it just seems nothing can go right for him. And granted, yes, it's its own fault because he's not playing good. He's not playing up to his capabilities. He's not playing up to his standards. He's not playing up to the contract and everything like that. So people have a right to be pissed no matter what. People have a right to boo no matter what. People have a right to, cheer for him no matter what. If they want to give him a standing ovation, they want to give him a standing ovation. I'm at the stage where I feel bad for the guy. I understand, like, the headspace that he's in because I've dealt with, those type of demons in the past. Just going through your head constantly in your thoughts, it's one of those things. It's one of those things. And I firmly understand why the fans give him a standing ovation. It was a nice standing ovation. He also stated in a post-game interview that it was fucking awesome. So he also did have an RBI single today, so that was nice to see. So maybe it did spark a little bit of something. Maybe it did. Maybe it woke him up a little bit. Can that build into something consistently? We'll just have to wait and see, because I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm definitely not. But yeah, you have a right to boo. You have a right to stay silent. You have a right to give him a standing ovation. It's basically your choice. Now, we don't have to give him a standing ovation every single at bat, because at the end of the day, it just looks cheesy. It just looks very cheesy. And it kind of gets old, and it probably wears off wears off his stay. So I think once, twice is fine. We don't have to do it every single game. I think that's the bottom line there. Once or twice for today's game, and that was it. I think that's going to be it. And no matter what, the fans will go back to booing if he continues to suck. That's probably the way Philly fans are. So that's basically it. Because I think, we go through like even though like we're going through the feels of how bad he is this year, I think sometimes it makes us forget how good he actually is, because Trey Turner is a top 10 player in baseball. He was worth that money for a reason. I still sign with that contract every single second. He's a top 10 player in baseball. He's insanely elite. He's amazing. Guy gets on base. Guy steals bags. Guy hits for average. Guy can hit for power. Guy can drive and runs. He can basically do everything on the field. He's going through it right now. This is really the first time he's been this bad. And that ability that he has, the way he can hit, the way, he can do something, it just doesn't go poof. It doesn't go poof. It doesn't go away. Not in the blink of an eye. It just doesn't happen like that. It gradually happens. This is just like instantaneous. It sucks. So there's something that's in there. And we've seen glimpses of how good he can be this year. He's had his moments of good. But really, just like, it's been like, maybe one or two sprinkles of good. Barely even sprinkles. It's like maybe like you get like a very tiny, like, pinky full of salt. And that's basically all the good that Trey Turner has had in little moments this year. Mainly, it's been bad. It's been really bad. But I know how good he is. We all know how good he is. But I do feel like there's some people that just don't realize it because they're just seeing bad in everything and they don't care what else he has done throughout his career. All they care about is how bad he has been this year. It doesn't matter what else he has done. But I know our record since like May, since like June, we've been the second best team in baseball, record-wise, since like May. I understand that. Yes, I understand. Like, if you want to view this team in a way that they'll be fine, they'll get into the playoffs, these type of losses don't bother me. If you want to watch it like that, fine. If that's how you want to watch it, fine. But I react to it every day. I watch this thing 24/7. It's just, when I see things I don't like, I'm going to talk about it and I'm going to complain about it. Because there's just some things right now with this team that I just do not see sustainable. And it's mainly with the way this offense constantly relies on the young players to produce while your top 5 barely do anything. They'll have their moments, but they don't do much consistently. It's relying on Stott. It's relying on Bohm. It's relying on Marsh. Hell, Rojas. It's not sustainable, man. It is not sustainable. It just isn't. It just isn't. Schwarber has looked terrible for weeks now. Terrible. Average is continuing to drop. He's not even going to get an average near 200 at this point. Not even close. Like, seriously, last year, Schwarber, 20 times better. It was 20 times more the experience. It's just, Harper, batting 290. He's getting on base. It's just the power. He's slugging 403. We need more. And I don't know if it's ever going to come just because, I understand he's coming off of Tommy John. He came off way earlier than he should have and all that stuff. It's just, oh my God. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Castellanos. It does look like he's finding his swing back in the past couple of games because that would be huge. If he can find his swing and find that consistency again. That would be huge if he can find that first half stroke. That would be very huge for this offense. Stott has been amazing all year. Stott is not the issue. Bohm's not the issue. Marsh isn't the issue. Marsh is batting 283, is 369 on base, 463 slugging. He leads the team in OPS. That's the problem. That's the problem. It's not saying Marsh is the issue. That's saying Marsh leading the team in OPS is an issue. Because that's showing you how bad the other guys have been, and not consistent the other guys have been. Trey Turner, not been good. Rojas, in his small coffee sample size in the major leagues, he's been fine. He's been perfectly fine. Comes up in little moments. Yeah, there's times where he looks overmatched, but still, plays good defense. Sometimes can have a good crack at the bat. That's it. That's it. That's it. Pitching-wise, yeah, the pitching is one of the major reasons why your record is the way you are. Not because of Aaron Nola. Not because of Aaron Nola. Your record is the way it is because of Zack Wheeler, because of Ranger Suarez's June, Taijuan Walker, Christopher Sanchez, even though you don't win for the guy, and your bullpen. And I think we're seeing signs of the bullpen getting a little bit gassed because sometimes the bullpen isn't as shut down lately. And I think we're seeing signs of, getting it overused. Getting it overused. It's annoying. It's annoying, man. It is annoying. Very annoying. I want to see the runners in scoring position today. 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Terrible. That is just terrible. That bad with runners on today. And bad with runners on all year. It's another joke how bad that is. So if we're looking at tomorrow's game, sadly, I will be in attendance tomorrow, so I don't know what that's going to mean. I don't know how that's going to fare. It's going to be Christopher Sanchez against Alec Marsh. Alec Marsh, he's 0-5 with a 6.75 ERA. In his last couple of appearances, 4 earned runs, 5 earned runs, blah, 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 yada, 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 yada. This guy's not good. This guy is not good. This guy is not good. This team is not good. This Royals team, that is. Please win. Please win. Please win. Well, Julian, I think the bullpen hasn't been good lately just because now we're seeing the signs of it, injuries getting to it. Marte's getting overused. Hoffman's getting overused. Soto's getting overused. When you don't have Serafini and Alvarado for that long, then those guys can only do so much. And they're trying so fucking hard to not use Kimbrel. So I think we're seeing the effects of that. If they don't make the playoffs, is Thompson fired? I don't think so. There could be a possibility. Because at the end of the day, it's not Dave's guy. Because Dave coming into this, Rob was already here. He was under Joe Girardi and Gabe Kapler. So, I don't know. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, BJ, I agree. You can't lose to the worst team in baseball. Cannot go. Cannot go. I said 7-3 on this homestand. You already lost the first one. You already lost the first one. Here's a weird stat for you guys. Johan Rojas is the first Philly to drive in 8 RBIs in his first 11 career games with a plate appearance since Ben Lively. Ben Lively was a pitcher. Ben Lively was a pitcher. I'll let you guys think about that one. I'll let you guys think about that one. Of Aaron Nola's 23 starts this year, 11 of them have been quality. 11 of them have been quality starts. Here's another stat. Kyle Gibson has more quality starts than Aaron Nola has this year. That's also part of that tweet from Nick Pichon, or how he pronounces his last name on Twitter. This team is ridiculous.
Pretty fucking cool.
Ridiculous. 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 Let's get to the voice line. Hotline. You can leave those at 215-839-9885. Thoughts and opinions. Sean, what do you got?
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the synopsis of the season that is the Philadelphia Phillies. I mean, they really win thinking that they're going to go on a run and start putting wins together. You come off winning 3 out of 4 on the road in Miami, and then you come home and lose to a team 40 games under 500. I mean, it's rinse, repeat, Amadeo. The pitching sucks. The hitting sucks. Even the manager, I'd say, to a degree, sucks. I mean, dude, you owe it to the fans to put a lineup out there of guys that can produce a little bit. I mean, not just focusing on Trey Turner, but why is Kyle Schwarber out there? What is this guy truly doing from the leadoff spot? He's hitting under 200. Aaron Nola, as I said eloquently the last time, sucks. End of story. I hope the son of a bitch walks in the off season. I wouldn't pay him a penny more. He's a loser and a choking dog. And finally, look, I commend the fans for what they tried to do for Trey Turner. But I think as a professional athlete, if you're not performing, you deserve to be booed. As long as it doesn't cross a line of attacking a player's family or kids or of a personal nature, booing is fine. And the way that team played tonight and rewarded the fans that showed up, they should be booed unmercifully.
Yeah, I don't blame that mindset whatsoever. I don't blame that mindset whatsoever. I understand the standing ovation for Trey just because of the headspace that he's in. And people thought it would be a good thing to show their support. I understand it completely. But I also understand the other mindset. It's, it's a guy making $30 million on the team, supposed to be living up to that contract, supposed to be helping this team, live up to championship aspirations, and he, along with the other people, aren't living up to those expectations. It's understandable. It's understandable. It's understandable. I completely understand. I just do. Just this team is ridiculous, man. That's all. This team is ridiculous. They do not make sense. 59-51, second place in the NL East. It just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. I was seeing anything else on Twitter right here. Yeah, that's basically it. Basically it. This team is frustrating, man. That's all. That's all. That's all. Look at the live feed right here before we end it off. Trade Nola and Trey Turner for some minor leagues. I'm not trading Trey Turner. And regardless, you can't even trade these guys. The trade deadline's over. Hey, David, how you doing? This was a total team effort in this mess. Exactly, I agree. Core guy still can't do anything, and Nola's a joke. I agree. I don't know who's worse, Turner or Nola. To be honest, I'd rather have Trey Turner in the lineup every day than watch Aaron Nola pitch at this point. It's come to that. It has come to that. Every wild card lost or losing, they all suck. What is Nola doing in a contract year? That's a good question, Corey. That is a good question. I have no idea. He's sucking. That's And Aaron Nola wanted more money. Oof. I bet he's fucking having nightmares when he goes to bed. Not accepting that contract that Dave Dombrowski offered him. Having nightmares. Having bona fide nightmares. Last 21 innings, 19 runs. It's not good. It's not good enough. All the leadoff doubles they had and didn't score off it differently would have helped now. Oh, yeah. This team loves to not score when they get a leadoff double. I thought we would get an awesome year from Nola given he doesn't have an extension. Oh, not Aaron Nola, Corey. He doesn't have that killer instinct in him. He bursts into tears when he allows a runner on base and has to deal with the pitch clock at the same time. Yeah, David, I understand. Yeah, they beat the Orioles, they beat the Rays, they beat other first-place teams, but one of the other reasons why this team was able to be so successful last year is because they beat bad teams. They took care of business against the teams that were not good. This year so far, they've been a very mixed bag bunch, and very lately they have not beaten bad teams. They've lost series to bad teams. They lost a series to the Guardians. They lose a series to the Pirates. They lost a series to the Nationals before the All-Star break. And even the Marlins. I don't even consider the Marlins a good team. I feel like they're playing way above their heads in the first half, and I feel like they came back down to earth a little bit. So I don't even consider the Marlins a good team. Yeah, you won a 3 of 4 game series there, but you should have swept. Should have swept. But still, like, find a way to build off of a series win. And they don't. When they win a series against a good team, they come up against a bad team and they just, wet themselves. Completely underperforming. I don't care that the Royals have won 6 straight coming into this. They're still not a good team. They're still not a good team. I don't care if the Oakland Athletics came into this series winning 5 in a row, 3 in a row. They suck. They suck. Beat a bad team. That's all you do. The Royals swept the Mets, who are waving the white flag at the trade deadline. That's not an accomplishment. That is not an accomplishment. And the Minnesota Twins, they're not good either. They're first place in the AL Central, which a division that sucks. And apparently we suck against AL Central teams this year. I guess that's a pattern. We lost the series to the Guardians. Right now we lose the first game to the Royals. Oh yeah, we gotta play the Twins after the Nationals too, upcoming in this homestand. Huh. Joke. That's what it is. Yeah, I don't know why Thompson doesn't give Schwarber a day off. I feel like he needs it. KC has 14 wins on the road this year. Well, now they have 15. Now they have 15. They're 15 and 39 on the road. And it's funny too. I believe at least 65% of your games this year are at home in the second half. So don't know what else to say there. Yeah, exactly. If your team has championship aspirations, they should be the teams that they should be able to beat. Yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly right, Michael. Okay. Guys, I understand David's being positive. That's the way he views things. Can you just not go off on him, please? You guys, can you? I understand. Just, can you not bully him in the chat, please? Didn't the Phillies get swept? Oh yeah, they lost every single game last year to the Cubs. But I said more times than not they beat the bad teams last year. This year does not feel like that. Just a feeling. I could be right. Could be way wrong. Oh yeah, he shouldn't go off on you guys either. It's like 5 guys against 1 though. Didn't like the odds. Oh yeah, people should be frustrated after this loss. People should be. People should be. I just don't like seeing people arguing in my chat. That's just me. I just want everyone to get along. But people are frustrated, rightfully so. And this Phillies team is very frustrating. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. I don't blame people for being frustrated because look at this guy. I feel like we'll bounce back the next 2 games. I hope you're right, Bucket Getter. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. How you doing, Chris? Haven't heard you from a little bit. Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Positive or negative, you should be able to express an opinion. I do agree with that. I do agree with that. I just don't want you guys attacking each other. That's all. And I'm not specifically blaming you here, Sean. I'm just in general. And David was in the wrong too. He shouldn't have been going at you guys either. I just don't want my chat to be a cesspool of hate towards each other. That's all. That's all. That's all. Yeah. See what the Phillies do to us. See what the Phillies do to us. And I think that's the perfect description. Like seriously, if the Phillies were just going well, this wouldn't be an issue. This wouldn't be an issue. Everyone in the chat would be positive. That's all. Everyone in the chat would be positive. Everyone would be happy. Everyone would love talking about their fighting Phils kicking ass. That's it. That's it. Oh, God. This is what Phillies baseball does, boys. This is what Phillies baseball does. Hopefully the Eagles season isn't as stressful as this. I don't think it will be. I don't think it will be. I hope not, at least. Schedule's definitely tougher, but I don't think the Eagles will be as stressful as this. I trust Jalen Hurts. I trust Nick Sirianni. I trust everyone on the roster. My Kelly Green jersey came in. Maybe it's a sign of good fortune for the Eagles. Who knows? I don't know, man. It's just frustrating. I wish it was like 08, 09, 2010 when we were a million games over 500. It's the funny thing, too, Bucket Getter. In 08, 09, 2010, we were like, there were stretches where we're like 8 games above 500, 9 games above 500, like around the same that we are now. But it like those games didn't feel as stressful as these ones did. Because it just goes to the fact that during those times, like in 08, 09, 2010, the rest of the division was terrible. And the Phillies were just the gods of the base of the league. That was basically just it. We're never going to see an era like that again. Because the Braves are always going to be around. That's going to happen. The Marlins, they're eventually going to get better, even though they have been better this year. But, you know, the young surplus of talent that they have, they are going to keep getting better. What else? What else? Trying to think. The Nationals, I don't know if they're ever going to get better. The Mets, they're tanking apparently next year too. They're not even expected to be competitive until 2025 or 2026. So there's that. But there's like so many good teams in this league, and yet there's like so many other like teams that are just weird. Who knows? I hate sneezing during these things. I do. Allergies suck. Oh yeah, Matt B. Mitchkov highlights are dime a dozen. They're amazing to watch. Also, Cutter Gauthier. Matt V. Mitchkov and Cutter Gauthier highlights at the same time. I love those. I love watching those. Gauthier playing for Team USA right now and doing their thing with like the World Junior stuff. And then Mitchkov right now in KHL preseason doing stuff, getting some sick assists and some nice backdoor goals. And some sick shootout goals. Regardless if it's preseason or not. Still, Matt V. Mitchkov. I like it. And he's playing center, apparently, in the preseason game. And he had a quote out there that he was studying film on Sidney Crosby. Yes. Ew. I love it. I love it. I love it. How do we go from talking Phillies to Matt V. Mitchkov? Because the Phillies fucking make us frustrated, that's why. Ugh. Oh, God. Oh, God. Jesus. Jesus. And this is not even like Like, we're just talking about, like, the exciting times upcoming. It's just, off topic, but is Carter Hart in trouble for... I have no idea. I have no idea. I did see, like, the Andy Strickland podcast saying, like, there's 5 significant names that are going to be suspended because of that stuff. I have my doubts. I just have a bad feeling. I don't think Carter Hart's that type of guy, but, looks can be deceiving. Looks can be deceiving. Not all people are who they seem they are. I'm not saying Carter Hart is that guy, but we just have to wait and see what happens. They say they know who the names are. They just can't say them yet because for some reason the NHL is taking forever to release the investigation stuff off. I don't know why it's taking this long. I guess because they just want to get everything right. But don't you want to do it like sometime before, September and crap like that? Because we're in August. Because when you get to September, that's when camps, getting right around the when camps start. So, I don't know when they plan on doing that. Well, if we have to play Cal Peterson, it's a better draft pick. It's a better draft pick. Maybe we can get into a position where we can draft Michkov's teammate. Because he's expected to go in the top of this year's draft. So, why not? Why not? Even though this next draft is very heavy on defensemen, I wouldn't mind taking Michkov's teammate in like the top 5 if we get to that point. I wouldn't mind that at all. Wouldn't mind that at all. But like when I was getting to that thing before I got distracted by the comment, it's not like I'm saying I want this Phillies season to end. No, I don't. Because I want to see this team fight for a playoff spot. I just want them to be better. I just want them to play better. Because when you're going into the end of the year, well, when you're going into the beginning of the year, your expectations are division, especially coming off of a World Series appearance. Granted, it didn't end the way that you wanted to, but, don't the expectations rise now that you finally got back to the playoffs and you went to the summit? Sadly, you didn't finish it. You fell off the peak. Don't you want to get back there and do everything possible you can and put yourself in the best position possible? Go out in the offseason, you sign Trey Turner, you make a couple of more acquisitions, and, who knows? Will the Flyers be a playoff? No, they will not be a playoff team next year. They're not going to be a playoff team for another 2, 3, 4 years. I would say 3 to 4 years at most. Because Michkov probably isn't going to be coming over for 3 years because that's how long his contract is with the KHL, but who knows, maybe he can come a little bit over earlier if, things go right. And they really have to go right. Geopolitical stuff in general, too. But, who knows? Maybe... Because I do have the faith that he might come over within 2 years, not 3 years. I just have that weird feeling because he desperately wants to be a Flyer. He wants to play here. He wants to play for this city. This is the team that he wanted to get drafted by. It was the only team that he talked to during the draft interviews and everything like that. He had multiple interviews with the Flyers. Wants to be here. Wants to play for this city. Why not? Why wouldn't he try to come over earlier? I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be shocked. Would not be. Then Cutter Gauthier, Tyson Forrester, Emil Andre. You have some nice other guys, Noah Cates, Owen Tippett, Elliot Deonay. What is Frost going to be? What is Cam York going to be? Who knows? Who knows? There's a lot of things. Some of these other goaltenders what is Sam Harrison going to be? What are these other goaltenders that you've been drafting recently? Because you signed one of those other guys that you had in the KHL recently, and you loaned them back. So he could probably come over after this season. So that would be nice to see. Cutter Gauthier is going to be signing his ELC after this college year. So definitely some really intriguing stuff. Like, this team's going to get younger. Do I believe they're going to be worse than last year? It really depends on how things go. I don't think they're a playoff team. I think they're a lottery team. It's just that, what is Coots going to be like? What is Atkinson going to be like and all that? Those are the question marks. Those are the question marks there that we don't know. Because I doubt Sean Couturier is going to be 100%. He's missed 2 seasons at this point with 2 back surgeries. I have no idea how that's going to go. And Atkinson didn't play at all last year. I don't know what's going on there. Definitely probably is going to be ready to play the season, but I don't know what it's going to be like. I'm sure the Flyers are definitely going to be selling some stuff off the trade deadline this year. some players. You know, Scott Lawton could be a name. Travis Konechny could be a name. There's things there. There's definitely things there. You know, what if Sean Couturier has a nice season and he puts some value up at the trade deadline? Why not? Why not? Why not? But then again, there's the Tortorella effect. He's going to get more out of his players, which probably means a little more wins than you probably need. But that's still the end of the day. Because say if you are forced to start Cal Peterson or a Sam Ersson in his first full season, maybe that gets you more losses because you don't have the Carter Hart effect. You know, with him possibly stealing his games. That's still a question mark because we don't know what's going on with Team Canada, that investigation yet. But I don't know. I don't know. I have my doubts. I just have my doubts. I just have a weird feeling. That's all. That's all. I don't want Carter Hart to be a part of this. I don't want him being found that he's a piece of shit. I don't believe he is, but I've been wrong before. Never judge a book by its cover. Looks are always deceiving. So I don't know. I don't know. Jesus. Am I replacing Keith Jones as a TV color analyst? No. No. I appreciate that you have that faith in me, Sean, but I'm not. I'm not sure who it's going to be, honestly. I know they put Brian Boucher on the color analyst from time to time last year when Jonesy was off and all that crap. Maybe it's Bush. Maybe it's Bush, and then Bush, you know, splits time with NBC Sports Philly and ESPN. Maybe that could be a thing. Because I have no idea who else could be the color analyst. I know Colby Cohen left NBC Sports Chicago and he moved back to Philadelphia, so that maybe that could be related to something or something like that. I have no idea. I kind of hope it's not Hartsey because Hartnell, in the times that he has been in the booth, has not been good. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe Chris Tyrion can come back into the booth. That would be nice. I would love to see Bunsey up there. Kind of miss Bunsey in the broadcast area. I really hope it's not Hartnell. I love Hartnell. I just don't think he's that good of an analyst. I just don't think he is. It just sounds off, in my opinion. It just does. It just does. But yeah. I think that's, you know, we're at, Jesus Christ, we're almost at an hour here. See, this is how much we lose track because of the fucking Phillies, man. Because of the fucking Phillies. See what they do to us, man. See what they do to us. Jesus. Yep, here's another Mickey Moniak home run highlight, even though I don't care about anything here with Mickey Moniak. But yeah. I think that's where we stand. So, I think that's where we're going to end it here, everybody. It's getting late. Phillies frustrate me. I'm going to the game tomorrow. I really hope they win, because I will blow a gasket if they don't. Literally, seriously, if you see a fire spouting at Citizens Bank Park tomorrow when the Phillies are losing 5-0, you'll know how it started. You'll know how it started. You'll see a camera pan over into the Hall of Fame Club area. And that little section of fire, there's just a fire surrounding me. I'm just all red with smoke puffing out of my ears. Jesus. But, yeah, that's it. So, thank you guys for joining tonight. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. We just surpassed 800. Let's keep it going and keep it growing. I believe in you guys to do that. If you're new to the channel and everything like that, hit the subscribe button. Also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Do not pass it up. Thank you guys for joining tonight. Phillies frustrate the living hell out